Long lenses. Along with aperture, I want to kind of cover the difference between using, like right now, this picture that I took in the last video was 62 millimeters. Okay, and that's a lens that goes from 18, all right, sorry, I had to look, 18 to 200 millimeters. I was pretty sure it was either 18 or 55. So 18 to 200 millimeters, which is a great lens because you have this huge range of things that you can do with that lens. Think about it. It goes all the way down to 18 millimeters to 200 millimeters. So let me get a new scratch pad out here and try to explain my method of madness in this video. So science, and it works like this. Okay, so you got a really long lens now. Okay, because it has a range of 18 to 200 millimeters. Therefore, at 18, the lens might look like that because you've turned this to make it smaller, and it's expanded out, and it expands way out here. So these are the kind you want to take on vacation, the ones that go that far out. You do not want to take this on vacation. You do not want to go 18 to 55 millimeters. Okay, that will suck at vacation time because what will happen is you will be taking landscapes all day long. Now, what's this one good for? Everything. It's good for portraits, it's good for landscapes. It's good for even taking pictures of bugs, which I like doing too. Now, the the issue with having a really long lens like this is, and I talked about aperture in the last video, is let's just say the space of objects. We'll take the object 1 and object 2. Because there is so much glass in here, and because it has a very long tube, the space of blurring is a lot shorter between these two objects. So this object could be right here and 1 inch away, or maybe 1.5 inches away. This item could be here, and it will be very blurry, very blurry. So to kind of show you this, I left everything alone on the camera. I moved the camera back, and I opened up the lens. So now instead of 62 millimeters, you're going to see probably like 200 millimeters. And I definitely had to move the camera way back and then refocus in. So let me kind of show you what that looks like. Okay, and let me get back into aperture, or, man, I called Lightroom aperture. And let's go into Lightroom and go in here. And let's do a little developing. And you can see the colors way off now, right? Because now you're dealing with being farther back. Your bouncing of light is a lot less. Now you're going to have to do some amazing things to get this to be pretty good and focused. So, I'm looking for something gray, but how do I even know what gray is? So I'm going to zoom in, and even though he's an 18% gray, think about how far back you are, and then you're going to say, well, that's good, but really, it has to be a little higher than that. I'm going to adjust the exposure ratio because I'm farther back. Another thing that occurs because I have an open lens, I like showing this, is see this gray that's appearing here? That is called vignetting. Okay, and the vignetting is happening because you're so far back. Now, to counteract stupid things like vignettes, now sometimes vignettes are cool, but because if I adjust the vignette in, I can use it as a way of centering focus on the guy. You notice at 200 millimeters, look at the detail. I can see cobwebs here. Why? Because at 200 millimeters, it doesn't make sense, but it works like this. If I'm way back, even though I'm way back, and I'm at 200 millimeters and I'm zooming all the way in, and then I have good focus, you'll get lots more detail. Okay? That's why you don't see photographers with a 200 millimeter lens up in your grill per se. Because why would you be up in your grill when you can be like far back? Not to use slang, And not to be unhip because now I am age 34 and saying up in your grill, but I would say this is how you correct vignetting. So that's that. And being way far back allows you to get more detail. And you would think it's the opposite way around, but that happens at a macro level lens. Okay, macro lenses handle close up detail, being right on top of the object. Telephoto lenses, if you want detail, you be back and you open up your lens all the way, and you be right on target. Because if you screw up target in any way, you're going to have to use a tripod for that. Sweet, cool, yep, all good stuff. And you can see now you're getting weird colors appearing that are bouncing off somewhere around the room. And this is actually from a glass that's in my window. If you watch some of the previous videos, there's a window to the left-hand side that has a glass bottle, and that has become embedded on my micro 4 gig USB drive. Love light, and I love playing around with it, and I love the idea of how it works, how photons bounce around and then interacts with particles and all that good stuff. If you ever study any of the quantum mechanics, you know that light is a property that is very unknown, and how it works is very unknown. Okay, so all right, what else? No, that's it. So using a big lens equals lots of detail as long as you're far enough back. That's the end of the lesson. Good for portraits too. On to the next video.